Good morning, Nutrition 1240 class. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make tabouli. Tabouli is an Eastern and Mediterranean dish, and the ingredients can vary depending on the region. However, staples include bulgur, tomatoes, parsley, as well as olive oil and tomato. This recipe is very easy to prepare, and it's a great meatless option on its own or as a side. This recipe is also a sustainable alternative with no meat, and it's high in vegetables and also rich in vitamins and phytochemicals, which will be discussed later. So in this recipe, we have 1 cup of bulgur, and then we have 1/4 cup of lemon juice. We have 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. I like mine very fine, so I used a garlic press. We have 2/3 cup of green olives, and then, green onions. We have 1/4 cup of olive oil here. Then we have 1 cup of tomatoes. We have 1 cup of parsley. We have 1 chopped English cucumber and 1/2 cup of grated carrot. 1 can of drained and rinsed garbanzo beans, and 1/2 cups of feta crumbled. And you can use whatever cheese you like, however feta tends to behave the best with this recipe. And then we have 1/2 cup of Kalamata olives. You can substitute this for black olives or green olives if you like. And then we are going to use 1 teaspoon of salt. So to the mise en place, you're going to gather all your ingredients as I have done, and you are going to bring to a boil 1 1/2 cups of water. Again, make sure your garlic is thinly sliced. You want your tomatoes chopped in small pieces. We want our parsley, we want the stems removed for the most part, and we want the leaves chopped. You're going to cut your cucumbers into 4s, and then your garbanzo beans again need to be drained and rinsed. So to make this recipe, first thing we're going to do, we're going to get a big bowl here, and then we are going to have a plate aside. We're going to bring to a boil, again, 1 1/2 cups of water. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that out here. And then go ahead and just put that to the side for just a second. We're going to add our 1 cup of bulgur, and then our 1 teaspoon of salt, and then our 1 1/2 cups of water, of boiling water. Go ahead and use a fork to just give that a little stir. And then we are going to cover this with a plate, and we're gonna actually let this just rest. I'm actually gonna do it this way. We're gonna let this rest for 15 to 20 minutes. We'll check it at 15 minutes, and we want the consistency to be soft. But again, we can just leave it longer if needed. So while that's soaking, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the sustainable aspects of this meal. So this recipe is meat-free, meaning it's more energy efficient. It contains lots of vegetables, and it can be these can be chosen locally and organic. This choice can save fossil fuels and increase the business for local farmers. The only ingredients in this recipe that will be packed or processed are actually the garbanzo beans, feta, olive oil, and the bulgur. And now we'll talk about some phytonutrients, or in the phytochemicals. So in the garbanzo beans, you have folate, thiamine, iron, vitamin B6 and K, magnesium, phosphorus, copper, manganese, potassium, calcium, zinc, phytosterols, and phenolic acids. So garbanzo beans are very heart healthy. They support nerve and muscles, and fiber regulates the uptake of sugars. In the bulgur, you have lots of protein. You have iron, thiamine, folate, phosphorus, zinc, copper, niacin, and lignans. And these block hormones that may promote cancer. They can help lower the risk of heart disease and several cancers when consumed in place of refined grains. In our garlic, we have lots of vitamin B6 and C. We have calcium, selenium, manganese, allylic acid, sulfides, lignans, and organosulfides. So this protects against colorectal and ovarian cancer. And then in our onions, we have vitamin C, folate, tryptophan, flavonoids, allylic acids, sulfides, and organosulfides again. These boost immunity, they lower the blood pressure, they help prevent stroke, they can decrease the risk of colorectal cancer, ovarian, pancreatic, and prostate cancer, and they also improve bone density. And then we're gonna just talk about a couple more. So in parsley, you have vitamins A, C, K, iron, and flavonoids. In cucumber, you have potassium and carotenoids. In carrots, you have lots of vitamin A, vitamin C, K, potassium, and carotenoids again. And then in tomatoes, these are high in vitamin C, K, potassium, molybdenum, glutamic acid, lycopene, flavonoids, phenolic acids, carotenoids, and phytosterols. So tomatoes are great for cardiovascular health. They may help prevent pancreatic and colorectal cancer. And then in our olive oil, this is obviously a great monosaturated fat. It's high in vitamin E and K, iron, phytosterols, and this also is great for digestive and bone health. It lowers the odds of having any type of cancer, antioxidants, and it's also very anti-inflammatory. We're also now going to talk about the nutritional values in relationship to the nutritional health. So the AMDRs I gave are based off a 2,000 calorie diet. So from each serving size, this meal I believe serves around 5 servings, depending on if you were to have it alone or with a protein or whatever you like. But it's 18% carbs, the protein is 18%, fat is 20%, vitamin A is 137%, so this is very high in vitamin A, and then vitamin C is 60%. And with our minerals, we have 11%, magnesium is high. Potassium, we have 406 milligrams, which is 25%. And then in sodium, we have 621 milligrams. This is a little bit higher in sodium, most likely due to the feta. However, it's still a great meal, and you have lots of other healthy ingredients to balance out the sodium content. And so with our AMDRs, most of our nutrients went above the 20% range. So we have potassium that went above that 20% range. Iron's very close, it's at 11%. And then with our vitamins, we have vitamin A, which is 137%, so that meets our AMDR. Vitamin C, 60%, so that also meets our AMDR. Now let's talk about some food science principles. So all the vegetables are keeping their color in this recipe. We're not cooking any of the vegetables, so they're therefore keeping their nutrient density. The bulgur does not need to be rinsed due to the fact it's already prepared with heat, and risking it depletes its nutty taste. You're gonna go ahead and place the tabouli in a shallow container in the fridge so it can cool faster. And we cool the tabouli for an hour prior to adding vegetables to avoid cooking vegetables in the hot temperature. So more food safety principles. This meal is at low risk for foodborne illnesses due to the fact there's no animal products in this dish. Again, we want to store the leftovers in the fridge for no more than 3 to 5 days at no warmer than 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is all my food safety principles. Once this finishes sitting, we will go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients. You can pause it. So it's been around 20 minutes now, and we are ready to go ahead and add all the rest of our ingredients to the bulgur. As you can see in the bulgur, there actually is still even a little bit of liquid at the bottom. Don't worry about the liquid being at the bottom. Once you put it in the fridge to cool, it will continue soaking up the water, and you will not have this water when you take it out. So I'm gonna start by adding our olive oil. I'm gonna add some lemon juice. I'm gonna add our garlic, and I'm gonna go ahead and give that a little stir. So there's our olive oil, we have our garlic. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start adding, I actually have a little bit more olive oil in here. Now we're gonna start adding the rest of our ingredients. So starting off with our cucumbers, I'm gonna go ahead and add this, and you'll see this bowl start to expand more and more. I'm gonna add our garbanzo beans. Okay. And then I'm going to add our tomatoes. Perfect. I'll let that stir a little bit. And then I'm gonna add our green onions. Okay. And our red onions. And this is almost like a salad. It has a lot of color to it. Okay. I probably should have had a bigger bowl actually. Now we're gonna add our carrots. Parsley. And then I'm actually not gonna add all of this. I'm gonna add most of it, but I'm just leaving about a 1/4 cup for garnish. And then our olives and our feta. Okay, that looks great. So again, start stirring. Definitely choose a bigger bowl when you make this recipe at home. Keep on stirring. Okay, I have finished stirring my tabouli. Here's a close-up of what it should look like. It's very colorful, great for the summer. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge for 2 hours and let it chill. You can just eat it by itself right now. It is good to eat, but it does taste a lot better when it's nice and cool. So I'll throw it in the fridge and we will come back when that's done. Okay, I have finished stirring my tabouli. Here's a close-up of what it should look like. It's very colorful, great for the summer. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge for 2 hours and let it chill. You can just eat it by itself right now. It is good to eat, but it does taste a lot better when it's nice and cool. So I'll throw it in the fridge and we will come back when that's done. Unfortunately, the part where I served up the finished recipe got deleted somehow. So when you have refrigerated your tabouli for up to 2 to 3 hours, just serve it up on a dish and put that fresh parsley over top and enjoy. And thank you for watching this Nutrition 1240 food demo.